It has been a tough year for many during the pandemic, with job losses, reduced income, and changing working conditions. Financial expert Jasmine Marra from Bromwich+Smith joining us now. Good morning, Jasmine. How are you?
Good morning, Courtney. I'm well. How are you?
Good. So even in the toughest of times, there are some takeaways for us, things that we have learned for life post-pandemic.
Absolutely. It's hard to believe that it's almost coming up on a year here. But I think the first thing that we really learned is, a rainy day fund may just not be enough for us. Certainly this year has showed us that, having that little cushion is a nice thing, but it may not carry us through something really unexpected, like a job loss, a critical illness, or even what we're currently experiencing in the pandemic.
So is there anything we can do with that as far as our savings moving forward, a goal or something that we should try and keep in mind so that we do have a better cushion?
Yeah, I think, one of the things that it has really allowed us to do is think about our lifestyle a little bit more. And, maybe rather than maxing it out completely and not having any cushion, just thinking about, can I weather a storm if it does happen? And sort of looking at our finances with that lens instead. So that's something I think we can take away for sure.
And this has been quite the storm that most of us did not see coming, of course. Another takeaway is that debt can happen even to the best of us.
Absolutely. One thing I think this year has really shaped us to think about differently is that, debt is not just because we're poor with our finances. Certainly, it's most often as a result of an unexpected trigger. And so, we can be really excellent at finances and then something happen and we're just unable to weather that storm. So I think it's made us all a little bit more understanding and sort of reduce that shame just slightly for us, which is a good thing in my book.
Yes, that brings us to the next point, because before there was kind of the judgment and shame and assumption that maybe you're not making the best money choices. But now, after having been through this year-long pandemic, so many people impacted, that we are building that empathy.
Absolutely. I think, if we see a friend or a neighbor or a family member going through that, we are just a little bit more empathetic than we were prior. And some of our surveys have showed that. So that's great news.
That is good news, and something that we can hopefully move forward with as we work our way out of this pandemic as well. Let's talk about examining our spending, because this year has been a big one, especially for people realizing how much they spend going out on the town, perhaps date nights, movie nights.
Absolutely. A lot of people are sort of terming this the Great Reset. And I think it's about, sitting back and looking at our finances and having that sacred space to think, hey, do I want to continue this kind of spending going forward? And, it's sort of forced upon us to not be able to go out to eat or maybe not spend in that discretionary way. But it did allow us to see, hey, look at all the savings potentially on the other side. So it has allowed us to just have that time to think about, as we come out of this and vaccines are rolled out, what are the changes we would like to make in our spending and our lifestyle so that we have something that really matches what we truly want going forward.
Dinner and drinks on a Friday night. It adds up throughout the month.
Certainly.
It's fun. We miss it, but yes, our bank accounts may thank us.
And whether we want to do it 5 times a month or one, maybe that's something to think about going forward.
More of a special occasion. If you are experiencing some debt and you are looking for some expert help, the team at Bromwich+Smith can help you get out of that situation, help you put your best foot forward as we work our way out of this pandemic slowly but surely. Thanks so much, Jasmine. Always great talking to you.
Thanks, Courtney.
Debt Real Talk with Bromwich+Smith. Free confidential debt relief consultations.